Mr. Brijesh Iyer of IDBI Capital Markets. Thank you for joining us here on News9, Brijesh. First of all, I mean, we formed that double top around that 22,500 on Nifty. And, even though there was a bit of a sluggish start yesterday after yesterday's sharp correction, a good bounce back from that 22,300 mark. We are back about 22,400. What's your sense of things now? Was it just a one-day shakeout that we saw in the headline index?
Good morning, Suyash. So it was very difficult to answer that whether it was a one day, because every time when there is a correction, maybe the follow-through buying is what we are always observing. So it is a bit difficult. Eventually, yesterday's breakdown, I believe we may come somewhere close to 22,000, because that is what it was suggesting. But there are two factors which I would like to mention. For example, yesterday, even when the market was correcting, the data for in the cash, the FIs and the domestic DI, both were the buyers in yesterday's session. They both went long. The positions had been added in the FIs as well as DI. And even from the index future point of view, they were marginally stopped with some 1,000 odd contracts, which is nothing, which we can actually ignore. So even though when market was correcting, the data never corrected. So that was one thing which I observed. And secondly, Suyash, over the last couple of months before, whenever there is a rally on a weekly time frame, this rally would sustain for 23 to 24 weeks. I observed for the last so many times that this rally will sustain for 23, 24 weeks. And the current rally is only completed the 18 weeks. So I'm of the opinion that at least maybe we will be more of a range bound. We'll not see a big upside, or maybe I don't believe we will see a sharper correction. We'll be in the range bound for the next couple of weeks till this March expiry is over. I don't think we'll see a major fall in the market. Maximum the corrections may come to 22,000 on in an extreme scenario, or it might break that. But right now, I would take that it will be more of a range bound kind of activity. Bank Nifty last week, we saw that it almost went up to 48,000 and it corrected back. So Bank Nifty has now filled the gap area. This gap was formed basically because of the HFC Bank witnessing a gap down. Because of those reasons, we had the gap down in the Bank Nifty, and yes, in the last week, we have filled that. I believe we would be more in a range bound kind of a market. I didn't expect such a sharp move in the very start of the day. I just thought it would be some little bit of negative bias, and maybe in the second half we might see some recovery. But this recovery of 80, 90 points on the Nifty is quite promising. 22,500 is the trigger. If 22,500 is taken out, then again there are call writers who will be unwinding their short positions. So we'll keep a watch on those points. I believe if 22,500 is taken out today, then we'll see another 200 points rally on the higher side. So that would be the immediate view for the next 3-4 trading session. Lower side 22,200, on extreme scenario 22,000. So that would be the demand or maybe the support zone.
All right. And, as we speak, it's Nifty Bank that's actually, after yesterday's sharp shakeout, it's, leading the charge. It's back above the 47,700 levels, up 0.81%, and HDFC Bank, which dragged the index down yesterday, is up about 2%. So, I mean, clearly it looks like, at least if not for Nifty, if it was a one-day shakeout, it looks at least that's what the setup is for Bank Nifty. But we'll move on, and we'll move on to ITC because it's facing some bit of a price pressure this morning. It's down about 2%, in fact 2% and falling, and this is on the back of British American Tobacco. According to reports, it's looking to sell about $2 to $3 billion worth of stake in the company. Now, the divestment is likely to take place via block deal, and as we know, such deals are usually at a discount to market price. So there is, of course, going to be some bit of a price pressure there. And, Brijesh, it's also going to be a sentimental hit for the stock because BAT at 29% is one of the largest stakeholders in ITC. But, even if you look at the stock after that brilliant rally that we saw in the previous 2 years where the stock essentially doubled, is down by about 14% in 2024. What's your view on ITC? I mean, is the end near? Can we, or is it, once again entering into that years of, consolidation which lasted for several years?
So, to be very precise, from the start of Jan, the ITC has started to see the profit booking, and eventually till the mid of Feb, there was a correction. After Feb, we saw some kind of buying, and we believe that this can be the early stage of bottoming formation. But then, with today's news, the ITC has broken that 400 mark. So definitely, from the time being, maybe for the next couple of weeks, ITC from the charts perspective, it is looking weak. I would take a negative trade on the ITC because 375 to 370 is the next support level which I'm watching at. So until and unless 400 or maybe 410 is a precise level, until and unless 410 is not taken out on the higher side or we see a very strong close above 410, I don't think ITC will see a good bounce or maybe that big reversal will not be seen. Right now, I am of the opinion whenever it comes bounces to 400, 400, 405, 408 with a stop loss of 411, one can the traders can look for the shorting opportunity because I believe 20-25 points further corrections will be due. It will take a couple of weeks, but then that is a directional view. Closer to 375 and looking at the overall market sentiment, then we can again review the position and slowly the long-term players may jump into. But then that's a wait and watch kind of a scenario. But at this point, we'll be talking of another 20-25 points correction from the current level.
Good morning, Brijesh. Another company that is betting big on India is Siemens. Over the last 6-7 years, the investments they have made into India have been over $1 billion in that tune. They have recently got an order from Indian Railways to supply 1,200 electric EV locomotive engines. But when I look at the stock price in comparison to their peers, Siemens does not seem to be doing too well, even when you compare it to ABB, Hitachi or General Electric, T&D India. Leave aside BHEL, which is an Indian company. How do you see Siemens performing? Do you see it floundering despite all the big bets that it is making into India, or do you see a reversal?
Sir, if you check the Siemens from the month of November, it has started to move from the level of 3,300. We are now trading at 4,700 mark. So what we can say for the Siemens specifically, it may be we can see some profit booking coming in the Siemens. So the maximum correction which may come in the Siemens would be somewhere close to 4,300 mark. So I believe structurally the charts it might be a slow mover, but then structurally the charts are positive. The trend is there is no way weakness in any time frame. So I believe this profit booking may maximum come by another 300, 400 points, odd points from the current level. Closer to 4,300, I believe there is again a demand zone from the charts point of view. And the trend remained positive. So maybe if somebody who's looking to 5,000, 5,500 level, if that is the directional view, so one should look to add positions on those corrections. I'm taking this view because there is no reversals and there is no structure or no change in directional trend. So I believe corrections should be viewed as a buying opportunity. It might be a slow mover, but then it looks good positive on charts.
Slow mover, but on the upside. Brijesh, tell us, what are your picks for the investors today?
One is from the banking space. IndusInd Bank is something which I'm positive. I believe one should take a long position, and even the Bank Nifty is reversing from the current level. With the stop loss of 1520, I would play for 1590 on the higher side. So that would be the first pick. Next is that momentum pick in the Asian Paints. Would go long at the current price with a stop loss of 2810 for the target of 3010. And lastly, the Shriram Finance. So again, this is a momentum play. So one should go long at the current price with a stop loss of 2435 for the target of for the target of 2600 levels.
All right, those are the short-term trading ideas from Brijesh. I'll, sir, appreciate your time, appreciate your thoughts. Thank you for joining us here on News9.
Thank you.